All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each school will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution with you, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer any of your questions. My name is Stephanie, and I will be your facilitator for this session. Before we get started, just a few quick housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button, however, on your screen to type questions to them at any point in time during this session. This is just one of many different sessions happening this evening and tomorrow evening, so please be sure to check out the schedule on the website. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Virginia. I would now like to turn it over to our first presenter, the University of Mary Washington.
All right, hello everyone. I'm just gonna get my PowerPoint shared here. So my name is Amanda Hart. I am one of the assistant directors with the University of Mary Washington. I'm so glad you were able to join us this evening and hear a little bit about our schools. So the University of Mary Washington is located in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and our Fredericksburg campus is actually an undergraduate exclusive campus. That means that we don't have any graduate students on our campus. All of our graduate students have their own campus about 20 minutes away in Stafford, Virginia. And so it means that everything that I'm going to tell you about and everything that you would see if you came to our Fredericksburg campus is exclusively for undergrads. All of our faculty, all of our opportunities, all of our resources are just focused on undergraduate students. We have about 4,100 undergraduate students, so we're pretty small. You can see our in-state and out-of-state tuition numbers on the screen there. We are a Virginia institution, so our Virginia students do get a discount on the price of tuition for attendance. Our Fredericksburg location also gives us a great access to lots of resources. We are equidistant from Washington, D.C. and from Richmond. So our students have access to everything that both of those cities have to offer. Whether you want to go up into D.C. for the day and go to the monuments or museums, or do an internship on the Hill, or intern in Richmond, go down to Richmond, do the same, see some art and some museums. Our students have access to both of those things very easily while still being in a small college town that Fredericksburg is. Going into kind of some of our academic fast facts, we have 3 different colleges at Mary Washington that house our majors. We have a College of Arts and Sciences, a College of Business, and a College of Education. All of our majors are open to all of our students. We don't actually have you declare a major until you have 28 credits with us. So it gives you lots of time to explore everything that we have to offer and take classes across the university before we ask you to make a decision. In those classes, you will be in a very small student-focused environment. We have a student-faculty ratio of 13:1 with an average class size of 19. So similar, if not smaller, than what most students are experiencing in their high schools. You will get a lot of face time with our faculty and be able to build those connections and build a community centered around your classroom experience. Like I said, we don't have any graduate students. So all of the research that all of our faculty are doing, they're doing with undergraduate students. We support research from the very first days that you're on campus. You can do research both in and outside of your major, and we have over $750,000 a year set aside to support that. So it's something that if you're really excited about, you can really sink your teeth into. Kind of going outside the classroom, Mary Washington is a very community-focused place. We have over 150 different clubs and organizations, including our athletic teams. So we are in Division III of the Coast to Coast Conference, but we have varsity club and intramural sports. So if you're the kind of person who's interested in being involved with athletics, we have all 3 levels of competition that you can be a part of. The biggest sport that we don't have is a football team, but we still have a really lively and spirited homecoming every year. It typically takes place around a lacrosse game or a rugby game, and you can buy t-shirts in our bookstore that say that we have an undefeated football team, because it's technically not untrue. We also have a variety of other activities that you can be involved in, one of which is study abroad. We have 135 different study abroad programs in 56 different countries, and those are just our approved programs. We really want to support you and what you're interested in doing. So if there's a country you want to go to and something specific that you want to study, we will help you build that program. We'll help make sure that you can still make academic progress, but that you're really achieving your goals. Our approved programs take place in 3 different formats. So we have your traditional study abroad programs where you go abroad for a semester or for a year. We have exchange programs, so agreements that we have with other universities where we actually swap students. And then we have our faculty-led programs. They're a little bit shorter. They're anywhere from a week to 6 weeks long, and they take place over student breaks. So you can go away for a week over spring break or maybe 6 weeks in the summer, but it's a really great way to still get a study abroad experience in, even if you might have a heavier course load, or you're like, hey, I just got to college and I made all of these new friends. I don't want to go away for an entire semester. You can still have that experience through our programs. So just to wrap things up, we would love to have you on campus. Springtime is a wonderful time to visit. The weather is nice. Our trees are blooming. It's really beautiful. We would love to see you. We host tours 5 days a week and on Saturdays. So we'd love to have you join us for one of those. We also have an open house and an admitted students day coming up. So if you've already been admitted to Mary Washington, we would love to see you on April 23rd for our destination day. If you want to get a hold of us and learn more, our contact info is on the screen. But thank you all again for joining us this evening, and we hope to see you on campus.
Hi, I am Saoirse. I am an admissions counselor at Hollins University, and I am really excited to get to tell you a little bit about us. So Hollins was founded in 1842. We are the oldest all-women's school in Virginia. We are home to about 800 students, and students are encouraged to explore their own unique interests through the liberal arts and our 29 different majors. Our average class size is 12, so this allows students to have a very close, supportive relationship with professors and advisors. We are Division III athletic program. We compete in Old Dominion Athletic Conference, and if you're an athlete and you're interested in that, you can look at hollandsport.com to learn more. So despite our small size, we have a very diverse community of all identities and perspectives are welcome and celebrated. About 1/3 of our students identify as students of color and or Hispanic or Latinx. So Hollins really strives to kind of create a community where all students feel embraced and accepted. So clubs are a big part of Hollins. We have over 30 clubs and student-run organizations. If there isn't one that exists, we encourage students to create one. They just do this by drafting a club constitution, gathering members, and then going in front of our Senate to propose their club. And our active student, organizations let students, not just find community, but have access to leadership roles and get event planning experience, from organizing activities and events. So student government is a really big part of Hollins. Their mission is to just, make sure students feel advocated for and they're listened to. We have more than 80 elected SGA positions, so it's really easy to get involved and become a leader if you want. SGA hosts a weekly Senate meeting, so bring students together and sometimes faculty and staff to talk about events and hear students' concerns. Experiential learning is a really important part of Hollins. We want to make sure, in addition to in-class academic support, Hollins get to learn beyond the classroom. So hands-on learning is really important to us. That includes internships, study abroad, individual research, and community engagement. 91% of students at Hollins take advantage of this because access to these programs are guaranteed to any student who is interested. So here is just a few things that makes Holland stand out amongst other colleges and universities nationwide. And it is hard to define a Holland student, but I would say that passion for community and making change in and outside of the campus is something that really binds us together. So how to apply to Hollins? It is free to apply to Hollins using either the Common App or our own line application through hollins.edu. We require a high school transcript and either a secondary school report or a letter of recommendation. We are test optional for this year's applicants, and we truly mean test optional. It will not be a ding against you if you don't submit one. You'll still be admission, scholarship, all that. So to give an idea of our students, our average GPA and SAT of this past year was 3.7 and 1190. And we have a really holistic approach. So that is average. We really take into account essays and extracurriculars and letters of recommendation. So don't be scared off if you don't fit into that, because we really want to get to know you as a student. So we are really committed to making sure everyone has access to high quality liberal arts education. So all students are guaranteed $24,000 a year in scholarship when they're admitted. And our average award last year was a little under 37. So we have a lot of virtual events that we would love to have you come see. We do workshops, student panels, information sessions. So you can check those out on our website. And I hope this was informational and you learned a little bit about Hollins. We would love to always have you come for a private visit. Students that visit before May 1st of their senior year can get up to $1,000 and a visit grant towards the first year of tuition. So thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this evening. So I'm Kate. I'm one of the admission officers from Christopher Newport University. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen here. So hopefully y'all can see that. So we are Christopher Newport University. We are a public liberal arts and sciences institution down in Newport News, Virginia. For those of you who might not be familiar with the area, we are located down right in between Virginia Beach and Williamsburg area. So about an hour away from the Virginia Beach area if you're excited about being by the coast, and about 35 minutes away from the Williamsburg area. So very exciting if you're looking to get off campus, big cultural hub down in that area as well. We're about an hour outside of Richmond, Virginia, about 3 hours outside of the Northern Virginia, Washington, DC area. So we highly encourage students, if they're interested in getting off campus, to explore the area. There's lots of great opportunities there, but it also means we have tons of great opportunities for our students to explore internship and community service and engagement. So that's a little bit about the location that we're in right now. So we are currently about 5,000 students. So we call it more of a mid-sized university. So keeping it large enough that you're still going to have a lot of diverse opportunities and exciting experiences and students like what you'd see at a larger institution, but while still keeping it small enough that you're never going to be just another number in the classroom. So this means that you're still going to have a lot of small class sizes. Over 70% of our classes are going to be 19 students or fewer. And this is going to be occurring all throughout your time as a student. So definitely focused on that small interpersonal relationship with our faculty members. All of our classes are going to be taught by our faculty members, so you're not going to see any teaching assistants or graduate students teaching your classes. Our professors are there because they want to get to know our students, engage with them in undergraduate research, as well as providing them internship opportunities. So definitely, we love that size. We're not looking to grow that number any, even though we are getting more and more applications. So we're very excited about that. So 5,000 students, definitely that mid-sized feel. As we've talked about, that class size is going to be a lot smaller. So we are going to offer much more of an undergraduate focused institution. So this means that most of our classes are going to be at the undergraduate level. We only offer a couple of graduate programs on campus. So again, really giving you the most opportunity to make your time on campus as meaningful as possible and getting to make those connections and networking opportunities as an undergraduate student. So you can see in the background of this slide here, we do have a 260-acre campus. It's very accessible. Most of what you're going to need as a student is right there on that great lawn. So you can see a little bit more of that in the background there. We do like to describe our campus as more of a bullseye shape. So that first ring is going to be, again, very accessible. All of your academic buildings, so all of your classes, your student services, any kind of student affairs office you may need, registrar, financial aid, all of those offices will be there, including our library and one of our dining halls. So you get to see kind of the big cultural hub on campus there. The second ring is going to be all of our residence halls. So we are a very residential campus. So this means that we're really trying to focus on making sure the students make the most out of their time here on campus. So we do have that second ring of all of our residence halls available there. And then the third ring is going to be all of our athletic fields. So again, really trying to give students the most opportunity on campus. The furthest walk from one end to the other is probably about 10 minutes. So pretty easy to get around. Freshmen are able to have cars on campus because we know we've got great stuff in the area. So a lot of students can bring their cars on campus in their first year and carpool together to those off-campus locations. But we've got great things going on pretty much every day on campus as well. So that is going to include some of our athletics as well as our clubs and organizations, which we'll talk about in a moment. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we are a public liberal arts and sciences institution. So we're really geared towards giving you the most of your undergraduate experience and giving you that strong foundation throughout your academic time here. So you actually don't have to formally declare a major until second semester of your sophomore year. So this means that you get plenty of time to figure out what it is that you're passionate about and excited about and look through some of those programs that maybe you hadn't been thinking about before. So we do offer over 90 areas of study to help figure out what it is that you want to do and what you're passionate about. That is going to be in our 3 colleges and our 1 professional school. So we've got our 3 colleges, including our natural and behavioral sciences, arts and humanities, and social sciences, and then our 1 professional school, which is the Luter School of Business, that actually ranks in the top 100 for undergraduate business schools in the entire country. So again, really great academic programs that we're offering here on campus, giving you a wide range of opportunities to explore as an undergraduate student. Of course, we do have great opportunities to engage outside of the classroom with those clubs and organizations, as well as a wonderful study abroad program, a center for career planning to help you find internships and job experiences, as well as a center for community engagement if you're really looking to be involved in service in the area. We do offer 24 varsity teams that we sponsor here on campus. We are a member of the NCAA Division III. Our women's soccer team actually just won the national championship this past year, which was very exciting for us. We also offer those club and intramural sports if you're looking to stay competitive, but maybe not at a varsity level. On top of that, we have over 200 plus student clubs and organizations. So again, for a school of about 5,000, there's tons of things to do, pretty much something going on every single day, which is exciting. A lot of those are hosted by our campus activities board as well as our student government, but we have tons of different clubs for social interest groups, for clubs and hobbies, for anything club and intramural sport, Greek life, faith-based organization, community engagement. So whatever it is that you're interested in, we really want our students to be able to find their community on campus, and whatever that may mean for you, we want to make sure that our students have the most opportunity there. So lots of things to do, very active campus. I do want to encourage you to check out our website for all of this information on the side. But again, you've heard the term holistic review process. So we do have that holistic review process for all of our students. I encourage you to check out our website for more. But again, a couple of different ways to apply. We are also test optional. If you've got any questions about that, let us know in the chat box. Other than that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to our next institution.
Hi, everyone. I'm Liz with VCU. Let me get my, whoops, there's my kids. Sorry about that. All right, hopefully you can all see me. VCU is the Virginia Commonwealth University. We are a large public state institution. So if you are in state, you can take advantage of our in-state rates. A couple of things I love about VCU and I like to talk about. Our culture is one of diversity and inclusion. So we have over 100 countries represented, as well as almost all 50 states. And we like to hear from everyone. We treat you as an individual from the time you start applying. Also, our community, we are a large school, but we feel very close. We are integrated into the community, into the community of Richmond and beyond, but it does feel like a small, tight-knit community as you're walking around campus. When you're a freshman, it's going to take about 10 minutes to walk across campus to get to school, to get to your class. So there's no such thing as a 20-30-minute bus ride to get to class if you're living on campus. So it is really small as well. And the last thing I love to talk about with VCU is our opportunities. VCU really promotes the idea of experiential learning. So whether that's learning as we are a Research 1 school, so participating in research as a freshman, we want our freshmen to experience their major classes right away. So if you're an engineering student, for example, you get to take engineering classes right away. And that's part of our experiential learning as well as internships, global education, all of that. Again, learning outside of the classroom. We want you to really experience and be a participant in what you're learning. Richmond is the smallest big town you'll ever meet. We are a foodie town. There's a lot to do, a lot to eat, lots of art, music, film festivals, music festivals. There's a lot going on in Richmond, and our students take part in all of it. We do have the James River running right through our city. So students also get not just that urban experience, but they can enjoy rock climbing, hiking, biking trails, outdoor experiences as well. We do have a lot of community partnerships. Our Wilder School of Government students, for example, studying criminal justice might go work in one of the local sheriff's office and get deputized. Or our School of Education students are going to be working with, as part of the curriculum, local school children. So lots of community partnerships, and Richmond is lucky enough to have 7 Fortune 500 companies based here in Richmond. So we have a lot of financial stability and a lot of opportunities for our students for job shadowing, internships, that kind of thing. So again, a lot of actual real-time learning. We have almost 30,000 students enrolled. About 24,000 of those are undergrad. We do have several graduate schools, including our medical school, our dental school, nursing. We have about an 18-to-1 student faculty ratio for undergrad. That gets smaller. That's an average, obviously. You have your big classes, and then as you get into your major classes, they do get smaller. And we do have a large full-time faculty, again, because we have so much emphasis on research. So we have a lot going on. These are some numbers we have for our students in terms of applying. We don't look at, obviously your GPA and your transcript are very important, but we don't just look at that. You're not just black and white to us. We want to see that colorful side to your application too. So we're reading and reviewing holistically. We want to read your essays, your recommendations, that kind of thing. Right now we are test optional. If you connect with us and get our emails and register with us, you will be hearing about what we've decided for the 2023 and beyond school year. Test optional to us means that you are if you submit anything, we are going to look at it. So be very careful and purposeful when you submit your test scores. Our regular decision deadline for freshmen for the fall is January 18th. That just means that we are going to guarantee that we'll give you a decision by April 1st, but we do have rolling admissions. So you can apply to VCU really throughout the spring and into the summer for the fall. And we are a campus with no boundaries. We'd love you to come see us. We'd like to have students connect with us. We're open all the time. I'm going to put my information in the chat, and we'd love to hear from you. Have questions answered, obviously. But the bottom line is we have a large community, even though it feels like a small community, and you should definitely come visit because there's a real energy on campus. It's very dynamic. It's very fun. We have over 400 clubs and organizations. So there's something for everyone, and you're going to find your place at VCU.
Well, hello, everyone, and good evening. My name is Erica Reesbeck, and I work at the University of Richmond. The University of Richmond, like my colleague who works at VCU, of course, is located in the city of Richmond, but we're about 6 miles from the downtown capital city and about 6 miles from our our neighbor, VCU. University of Richmond really does focus on the undergraduate experience, along with some of the same benefits that you might find at a larger research university. But we're ranked about number 22 in US News and World Report as a liberal arts and science college, but we incorporate the traditional liberal arts and science curriculum with the added benefit of undergraduate schools in business and leadership studies. Our overall size is small. We only have about 3,200 undergraduate students. And we also, though, even though we are small and mighty, like our mascot, the spider, we do have Division I athletics. We also offer guaranteed funding for summer research or internships and the financial ability to meet 100% of demonstrated need for all students. Within our academics, we really cherish that idea of freedom and flexibility and what you want to study. And so it's very easy to pursue more than a major. And in fact, about 2/3 of our students will have more than a major, whether that's a double major, a major and a minor, double major, double minor. We really want our students to have fun with it. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that someone like yourself might choose Richmond. Students would declare a major during their second year, and about 100 different majors and minors. And so the top 5 most popular majors this past year were business administration, biology, leadership studies, accounting, and psychology. When it comes to being in a liberal arts and science environment and being in sort of a traditional residential experience, we do support the 3,200 undergraduate students in a safe residential setting. So most of our students, 90%, will live on campus all 4 years. Your average class size is small. The average class size is 16, and 99% of our classes have fewer than 30 students. And that enables you to really develop important and lasting friendships with your professors, and our faculty's research and their own connections around the world will benefit all of our students. You'll rely on them later to write recommendation letters for you to go to graduate school, or you might utilize your professor's help in finding a really important summer internship or job after graduation. This is a snapshot of what the first year class looked like, so the class of 2025. We had about 890 students. 29% of our students are US students of color, about 11% are international. We really believe that having a diverse campus is important to be successful. We really work to create an environment that's welcoming, where you can find your own sense of belonging wherever you come from across the globe. We have a smaller representation of Virginians than some of my counterparts on the call today. So only about 16% of our students will come from the Commonwealth of Virginia. Another thing that we are very happy and proud to be able to do is to be need blind in our admission process, meaning that we do not consider financial information when making an admission decision. That's for US citizens and US permanent residents. We can guarantee for all admitted students to meet 100% of demonstrated need. Richmond also offers merit scholarships up to the cost of tuition, room, and meal costs. One of our signature programs is the Richmond Guarantee. Since the classroom experience is not the only thing that you need to prepare you for a career, we also guarantee up to $5,000 in funding for at least one summer internship or professor mentored summer research project. You choose what you want to do. We simply support you financially in that pursuit of your passions, and about 89% of the class of 2020 participated in an internship during their time at Richmond. I would definitely describe Richmond students as being pretty ambitious, curious by nature. About 67% will spend time abroad, whether that's studying abroad, working abroad, volunteering, or doing research outside of the country. We are number 2 in the US for sending students abroad. About 80% of our professors' research employs undergraduate students. Again, our focus, even though we're a university, the focus really is on our undergraduate experience, alongside a School of Law and a School of Professional and Continuing Studies. And at graduation, about 23% of our students will go directly on to another degree program, whether it's a master's, PhD, law school, med school. And for those students that jump right into the workforce, 96% are employed within 6 months of graduation. So thank you for spending some time with me today. Please consider signing up for other virtual information sessions. We'll start doing one-on-one virtual chats with current students in the summertime. We're also open in person, and I'll put my email in the chat box. I'll pass it now over to my colleague at James Madison.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Jamie Didowick. I am a Senior Assistant Director with JMU's Office of Admissions, and I am also a very proud JMU alumni, so pardon any bias I have. JMU is a place full of school spirit and some very rich traditions we are proud of. One of my favorite being at our football games, we throw purple and gold streamers, and it's become so popular with our students that we are also throwing them now at graduation and weddings. And it's just a fun experience to see the sky light up with purple and gold. But my other favorite tradition on JMU's campus is called Duke's Hold Doors, where you'll find everyone on campus, from students, staff, faculty, will hold a door for you and make sure that you feel like you're truly a part of the JMU community. We really do appreciate that. And we have such a nurturing environment on campus. What JMU offers is a place where you can come and be challenged academically, but also be supported academically. JMU students don't know what their peers' GPAs are. We don't compare them. We are just there to strive to support one another throughout their four-year experience. We are a public four-year institution located in Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is in the Shenandoah Valley, and it is gorgeous here. We've got mountains on either side of campus, and our freshman retention rate is something I'm really proud of. It's almost 90%. And what that tells you is not only students are happy with their experience, but they're academically eligible to return to JMU. The national average is in the 60s or 70%. So when you're looking at retention rate, it's good to pay attention to those numbers, because that tells you the percentage of freshmen that come back for their sophomore year. Our average class size is about 25, but only 11% of them have more than 50 students. We're Division I for the NCAA and just moved into the Sun Belt Conference this year. We also have club sports and intramural sports. So much great support on campus from our Student Success Center, libraries, the Health Center, the Counseling Department, advising, academic learning centers, the Math and Writing Resource Centers. But one of my other favorite things is the food on campus. We have been in the top 10 for best campus food for the last 15 years, according to the Princeton Review. So great food, great atmosphere, and great support on campus, which is why our retention rate is so high. The main things we are looking for are challenging classes in high school. If your high school offers AP, IB, dual enrollment, or honors coursework, any sort of weighted coursework, make sure you take advantage of that and challenge yourself while you are in high school. We do put an emphasis on the core curriculum. So for our Virginia students watching, that kind of mirrors the advanced diploma requirements at public schools. We're looking for mostly A's and B's for final grades in your core class. We do not look at GPA at JMU. And the SAT and the ACT are not required. We were actually test optional prior to the pandemic, and that's been reinforced throughout the past few years with no plans to go back to needing the SAT or the ACT. One important factor is intended major is not a factor of admission. JMU really wants to emphasize you to explore different major options when you get to campus. And I'll go into the next slide for all of our academic colleges before take a quick look at our deadlines, which should remain the same. And we are also found on the Common application, the Coalition application, and the JMU Apply web. But you'll see our 7 different academic colleges plus the Honors College and a few highlights about each. And JMU does make it very easy to change your major, double major, add a minor. We even had a student recently who was a double major in chemistry and musical theater, and that student actually wrote a musical called Bonded. We have very easy access to Interstate 81. Campus actually runs right through campus, which is a really fun part of being on campus. There's a bridge that goes over 81 and a tunnel that goes underneath it. We have a regional airport 20 minutes from campus, and we're about 2 hours from DC and Richmond. But what Harrisonburg is known for is being called the friendly city. We have an incredible downtown area with amazing local restaurants, fantastic shopping, walking distance of campus, and over 450 different clubs clubs and organizations to go into. The Hotel Madison is actually located right on campus next door to the admissions office. So when you come for a visit to see campus and explore Harrisonburg, I highly recommend staying at the Hotel Madison as well. We encourage you to check out and meet your admissions counselor. We are all divided geographically by different regions. So the website at the top of the page here is how you can find out the admissions counselor for your high school, and then a link to visit us on campus. And I definitely encourage you to follow us on Instagram at JMU Admissions, and then you can scan the QR code or go to j.mu/more info to join our mailing list. Go Dukes!
All right, awesome, everyone. You guys are all rock stars. Let's see time-wise. We have about 10 minutes left in our time together in this session. So I'm going to ask all of our college reps to come back on camera for our remaining time together. We're going to do a little bit of a round robin Q&A to share some thoughts with our attendees. We'll go in the same order that everyone presented in, just to make it a little bit easier. So our first question that we are going to go through is, what is one piece of advice that you would offer to someone going through the college admissions, or college search process?
Yeah, so I think the best piece of advice that I could give to students going through the college search process is to make sure that you're checking in with yourself regularly. There are going to be a lot of voices in this process and a lot of people who want to help you, but ultimately this is about you finding a good fit for you and where you're going to spend the next several years of your life. So making sure that you're checking in with yourself and asking yourself what type of environment you thrive in, what kinds of supports you need to be successful, what things you're interested in, are going to make this process go a lot smoother, because you're going to be able to pick those things out when you're in presentations and when you go visit campuses. So making sure that you really set aside that time to check in and make sure that you're making decisions that align with your values and what you want is going to help you through this process.
I would say visiting any college or university you're serious about, I highly recommend you go visit, especially if you're a junior right now. You have a lot of kind of extra time to do that. You probably heard that we all have different sizes, like 800, 3,000, 10,000. And the only way to get a feel, if that's for you, really is being on campus to see what feels small to you, what feels large. And we're an all-women school, so for a lot of students, that's an environment they've never been in, and they don't know how they feel about it until they are here on campus. So I think you really, really should visit everywhere you go, because that's where you're going to be for the next 4 years. So you wouldn't buy a house without taking a tour of it. So definitely go visit.
Absolutely. And I'll echo that. I absolutely think if you're able to and feel comfortable visiting in person and checking out those campuses, especially with students there, it's always great to see if you can really picture yourself in those environments and see life on campus happening in front of you. I guess my new piece of advice would be to get a feel for the things that you really loved in your high school experience and see where you can continue those in the college experience, and think about how you can ask questions about it. I think asking questions and using your resources, whether that be your high school counselors or your admission officers, we're all really excited to meet you. So don't be afraid to ask those questions. So really take stock of the things that you're passionate and excited about, and maybe think of ways that you can ask questions about it when you go on those tours or go on those visits, whether that be to the faculty, the staff, or to other people that you know. Definitely don't be afraid to ask those questions.
Those are all great answers. I'll echo all of those, and I'll add, do your research. There are schools' policies for admissions aren't apples and apples, and as many schools as are, they offer different things, and they're different sizes, and they're different experiences and energy on campus. There's also a lot of different smaller things to compare when you're looking at admissions processes. For example, VCU doesn't have early admission or early access, but we do have a scholarship deadline of November 1st. And I know other schools do too. And you wouldn't want to miss opportunities for more scholarships because you haven't researched and planned far enough in advance. Different schools handle the SAT and ACT testing differently. Even if they're test optional, they may ignore test grades. They may look at test grades a little differently, and they've got different program requirements. So really do your research and use us. As admissions counselors, we give you our contact information for a reason. We're there to kind of pull back the curtain because this shouldn't be a mysterious process. This is a process that's wide open for you, and we are there to help and answer those questions. So like Kate had said, ask us, use us, email us, come find us at college fairs, whatever it might be. We have our contact information published for a reason. So definitely take advantage of that.
Yeah. Try to have fun. I know it will feel stressful at different points of the experience, trying to find your list of schools and then the actual application process. And then also just have grace and patience with yourself and with your family members around you and family members for the student, because all of those different deadlines, all of those different names for things that we give can be overwhelming. So grace, patience, but try to have a little bit of fun in finding your home for the next 4 years.
Well said. And I'll let you on a little admission secret that a lot of students ask me, how do I stand out in the admissions process? And all of us here, and plus all of our peer institutions across Virginia, admit thousands of students every year, hundreds, some thousands. And sometimes it's just enough to follow directions, do well in school, and submit your application. And that might be all you'll need to get admitted to the university. So don't stress too much about, making your essay perfect, and just follow instructions, do the right thing, and focus on your academics the most.
Those answers were all perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so I think that's about all the time we have for questions. I don't want to run over. So I'm going to share my screen one last time. Get that popped up there. Perfect. Just thank you one more time, students, attendees, and all of our college reps. Thank you so much for joining us for this session. Students, when you close your window, there'll be a link to a very, very quick, I promise, very quick 5-question survey. And we'd greatly appreciate any feedback that you're willing to share with us. We encourage you to check the schedule to sign up for more sessions. There's a couple more happening this evening, and then a whole round happening tomorrow evening as well. And you'll be able to find this recording for this session, as well as all other session recordings at strivescan.com/Virginia. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, and we will hopefully see you soon.